back in 1989. It's called Troll 2, and it's become known as the worst film of all time.
Really?
Yes.
Sometimes it takes almost a decade for a film to find its true audience, more or less. Claudio Fragaso's Troll 2 was a title cash-in on a movie that wasn't even really all that beloved to begin with, yet its unofficial sequel that was actually about goblins got such a cult following that MGM actually picked up the rights to it, and last year got theatrically re-released with its own documentary reuniting the cast of the film. In 1991, a film was released with a Phantom of the Opera-inspired story, with a Dario Argento meets Clive Barker feel, with a killer who I can only really describe as if Leatherface was Deadpool. This film is popcorn. Last February, it was announced that a re-release of Popcorn was in the works, with special features and a documentary. Unfortunately, it keeps running into fundraising problems, but I'll tell you this. If a movie as shitty as Troll 2 got a documentary and a fucking theatrical tour, Popcorn sure as shit should too. And while you're at it, re-release Stuff and Street Trash. Those movies are also better than Troll 2. A group of film students plan an all-night horror-thon at an old movie theater to raise money for their cinema club. In the midst of cleaning up the theater, they find an old, long-lost film reel called The Possessor, created by a late avant-garde filmmaker named Lanyard Gates, who murdered his family during the screening of the film. They found a snuff film, and it was made by some Dadaist, artsy, hipster douchebag. What the fuck is wrong with the world? You know, I almost just want to talk about how awesome the general premise of this movie is than the actual movie itself. Speaking as a massive fan of horror films, to run a theater dedicated to viewing old schlocky monster movies for even one night would make my life feel pretty much complete. Hey man, some people want to go to space and win the Nobel Prize. I'm down with all that. I'd just rather get a large soda and watch the Wolfman fuck shit up in black and white. We begin with, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at actually. Perhaps some dialogue would help. Okay, so it's a dream. This is Maggie. Maggie has been having similar dreams with reoccurring people and events. She has screenwriting aspirations, so she records the events of the dreams every morning.
More dreams, huh?
Yep. I'm not getting any sleep, but it's gonna make a great film. I wonder if Orson Welles dreamt Citizen Kane first.
Well, unfortunately he died before the release of this film. But I have an exclusive interview with Mr. Welles from Beyond the Grave. Perhaps he can give us some insight into what truly went into the making of Citizen Kane.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.
I bet you fucks were expecting fish sticks. Shame on you. Like most female leads in this genre, Maggie has a heart-on of a boyfriend that wants nothing but to rock her like a hurricane. Or so it may appear at first. Let's delve a little further into this. Wouldn't you start being a walking Polish hammer if your girl dismissed and rejected you at every turn? She avoids his lips like the fucking plague. All the guy wants is some affection, and she can't stop for 2 seconds because she's too engaged in her script. Wouldn't want to disappoint Orson now, would we? So the school's film club is having trouble being taken seriously, so they staged an all-night horror-thon with schlocky old-school monster movies in 3D to raise more money for the club and establish it as a serious class with more supporters. This is a fantastic idea, and I really wish something like it existed in my town. Each movie has its own 3D or really 4D theme, like joy buzzers installed in the seats, a giant bug prop that attacks the audience, and very funky-smelling fog machines. It kicks ass. Paranoia arises in Maggie when she notices that the footage in the Possessor film reel is identical to the dreams she's been having, and unbeknownst to Maggie, her mother has been receiving strange phone calls with a voice similar to that of Lanyard Gates. Maggie's mother is lured to the theater, and of course supernatural shit starts happening right away. She brings a gun with her, but in a slasher film, bullets are about as useful as putting out fire with gasoline. Well, that's nice of her, Mom. Before she was all against the all-night horror-thon. I'm happy that she decided to change her mind at the last second. Though, strangely enough, she's nowhere to be found. Wonder what that's about. Oh well.
Scary, scary movies. scream.
Shitty music makes me wanna scream. Nice to see that Silver Shamrock is still around. The Horror-thon has one hell of a turnout. In fact, it's so good that Maggie's boyfriend shows up. What a good guy. So good that he shows up with another woman. I'm sorry, I take back my defense of this character earlier. He really is just a cheese dick.
Hey man, you're in my seat.
It is the judgment and sentence of this court.
Eat shit, asshole.
Oh, nice shot, dude.
Again, I'm enjoying the overall premise of this movie more than the actual movie itself. I love how they took the time to make these little mini B-movies. They're nice little things to get immersed into before these fucks start getting killed off.
Oh, don't look so shocked. Like it's any surprise that I watch slashers to root for the slashers.
It's dead.
With the teacher dead, it's established that the killer could be anybody, creating elaborate mechanical dead skin masks. Maggie believes that Lanyard Gates has returned, and of course her dim-witted man-boy doesn't believe her. Mark just spends most of his time taking pratfalls and being an insufferable twat. I'm actually pretty sure we're supposed to start liking Mark at this point too, but as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Bring a Bimbo to Flaunt and his girlfriend's work can get fucked to death.
Everybody always wonders how I get those straight A's. I keep telling them I do lots of extra credit assignments.
With corpses starting to pile up and Maggie actually running into Lanyard Gates himself, it's safe to say that the plot here is pretty straight-laced. Gates tells Maggie that she's his long-lost daughter, and we end off with an epic daddy versus daughter finale. Well, any simpleton movie would have you believe that, but this is fucking popcorn we're talking about. So here's Toby. I didn't really mention him earlier because at first glance he really is an easily overlooked character. He's your basic harmless film geek. You wouldn't expect much from him, especially since the movie goes and establishes Mark as the male lead. Mark is under the impression that Maggie has snuck away into the night with Toby. In a jealous rage, and because the blonde bimbo he came to the movies with tells him so, he heads to Toby's house. And, well, shit.
Who are you?
I'm Toby. Or nearly Toby. You'll have to forgive the sloppy craftsmanship.
Holy shit. Toby was caught in the same fire as Lanyard Gates. His mother was part of Lanyard's hippie cult, and when shit hit the fan, everyone went down. The woman thought to be Maggie's mother is actually her aunt, who took action against Gates, but through saving Maggie, she unintentionally ruined the fuck out of Toby's life. Nothing an apology won't fix, though, right?
You're sorry! Look at me! Don't look! Don't look at me!
So Toby pisses somebody off, and I'm hit with a revelation that Toby is actually codenamed for somebody else.
I mean, I'm walking around madly in love with this guy, and he just acts like I don't even exist. You're impartial. What's your opinion? Is he shy or what?
Look, I got my own problems. Just leave me alone, all right?
Uber Hexer Nova?
You're still wrong! You're still wrong! You're still wrong! You're wrong! You're wrong! You're a stupid pros! God damn it! It's MLG players!
Toby wants to recreate and finish The Possessor, showing the first half of the film and performing the rest of it live for the Horror-thon audience. A pretty great finish for the movie if you ask me, considering the audience think it's all just another part of the cheesy B-movie horror proceedings. But of course Mark has to save the day, fucking asshole. The ending honestly kind of makes me mad. I mean, Mark doesn't actually fucking do anything. He swings in like a lunk and misses the killer by a mile. It's bad wiring and a giant mosquito that kills Toby. It's just fucking anticlimactic. And of course Mark gets Maggie back at the end. Maybe he'll go for a redhead the next time she's busy.